So I haven't really been paying attention to whatever has been going on Twitter. I guess Bitcoin's doing really well right now. Um, I think that's kind of hilarious how we had this cold storage hack literally like 3 weeks ago. And, I was thinking to myself, if I had a lot of money and I wanted to manipulate the market slightly, and I wanted to get people out because I was thinking this myself. I'm like, why do I want to custody crypto at this point? If I can get my stuff hacked and all my stuff drained, do I really trust the system that we have currently? It hasn't really. It's stupid. It's complicated. Like the ultimate is you have to have multiple different types of wallets. Different, it's like you have to have like three cold storage wallets and have your crypto and all these different. It's like, dude, are you serious, man? Like, who wants to do all that? That's what I'm saying. Like, the regular person isn't gonna want to do all that. They don't want to go through that hassle. So it's just like, okay, self custody. It seems like it was an attack on self custody. So if I had a lot of money, like billions of dollars or whatever, you buy a bunch of these cold storage wallets. Maybe you have them manufactured. Maybe you come out with a company, right? Maybe you make a hard wallet company. I never heard of this company before, but you claim you're a hard wallet. This and that, and you deploy it, you buy the Bitcoin, you put it in all the wallets, and then you just go ahead and hack and liquidate it. And I guess, I don't know if it's changed, but it went all to one place. And it was just sitting there. So the whole point of that would be to squeeze people who don't have any confidence in self custody anymore. So it forces them to sell their Bitcoin or their crypto or whatever. And maybe they want to still participate, but they just get the ETF because it's more safe. They feel like it's more safe. They don't, oh, my cold storage wallet gets hacked. Like, come on, man. So it's like, I'm just saying that was just something that came to my head. Like, if I had lots of money, I want to try to lower the price of Bitcoin overall, which it didn't work. I thought it would drop. I thought, man, this is not a good day for Bitcoin. Not a good day. When I heard about all that, I had to do some housekeeping myself. You know what I mean? I had to do some housekeeping myself. So it woke me up a little bit. I'm like, okay, I need to make things more secure. Fine, man. This is what I'm saying. Regular people are just not going to want to keep up with this shit. It's just too much. You know what I mean? Unless they make it easier. And we have to make it like some type of a system where we can, if you mess up, I don't know if you can get your Bitcoin back if you send it in the wrong lane. I don't know how that works, where it goes. So if you go ahead and send Bitcoin on an Ethereum address, does it just not send? I'm guessing that's what happens. I have never done it. I've always used the correct address, correct terminal system. I don't, I'm not gonna sit here and try to send a bunch of different cryptos or whatever one by one. I kind of consolidate the stuff and then I just send it like that. But I do one little transaction, just like a $5-10, make sure it goes through. When I see it goes through, I'm like, cool, okay, this is where this link works. I'm gonna go ahead and send what I have to send. Especially if it's like a big amount. Obviously, you don't want to move a big amount without trying to see if it goes to the right place you want it to go, right? I mean, I'm just precautious. So, a lot of people are just, they're not, I don't think they're capable of having this type of responsibility of maintaining your own bank. Like, technically, honestly, I have to look into it, but I could end up being like an exchange. I could end up being a bank. If I become like a trusted person or something, and people, they're like, hey, I wanna store my Bitcoin on your. I'm not too sure how many little. I'll have to look into it. That's a good question for AI. Is how many extra little wallets can I make on my wallet? If there's a maximum, you know what I mean? And then I just like, yeah, okay, yeah, you can go ahead and put your stuff on my wallet. I'm gonna have to charge you for holding it, but um, I have to provide the security, make sure that your stuff's taken care of. It's like it's a whole different ballgame at that point. So yeah, you get assets and then you can borrow against them. But here's the thing, you got to make sure you have enough capital to cover any type of margin call if you do that, so you don't lose all your assets. So, like, if I was to ever borrow against assets, I would just borrow enough to be able to cover the capital to keep my assets so they don't liquidate them. That's basically where I would be with any of that. I wouldn't try to over leverage myself at all. I want to make sure, okay, fine, here's the cash. Don't sell my stuff. So, like, even if I borrow so much, I'll keep a little bit of their cash in my reserve. Maybe I can put it into some type of money market. I don't know. I haven't really looked into that stuff, but maybe it's like you get like a higher interest rate, like a 6% interest rate or something like that. But I don't know if it's a long-term thing. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't want my money locked up. I want long term. I'd want to be able to pull it out pretty quickly. The way I do my digital wallet is I kind of feel like okay having some Ethereum and Solana, Cardano on like the digital wallet. I kind of feel fine doing that because I have it staked, and they can't just go in there and just take it. They have to unstake it. I mean, I have to check in on it because they could unstake it and just come back later whenever it's unstaked. So that's a problem right there. But yeah, I feel like I don't know. I don't feel comfortable keeping my keys on an exchange, and it feels that's what they are all turning into, is just exchanges. I need somewhere to store it's just a wallet, okay? It's just a vault. There's nothing else that can come. It's just like there's no bank accounts being attached. None of that. I can't buy any of it on there. I just want to be able to store it securely so no one else can get it. But yeah, it's I guess it's been doing pretty good. Like I would tell people, like, if you're going to do self custody, I would don't spend more than you're willing to lose. It's good to kind of treat it like a savings account. If you can buy a little bit here, buy a little bit there. Like if you contribute to your 401k, well, you contribute the maximum 4% or 5% if that's what you do. Well, maybe you contribute $10 a week to Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Just keep doing it every week. You got an extra $10 goes to Bitcoin. Um, you know, what you can do with the direct deposit is you have multiple bank accounts, and then you have your direct deposit that goes to your primary bank account where you get most of the direct deposit, and you got one or two other bank accounts that it gets a percentage directly deposited to that bank account, and then you just kind of save up money in that little account. You know, it's it's kind of like you see it happening. You know what I mean? You're seeing it build. It's just a way to save, I guess. But yeah, it's like I said, like, and you can use that to save up to buy Bitcoin or something if you wanted to. You know what I mean? You just kind of like save up here, like I don't like the price right now, and then you wait till it drops, and then you buy it. Or some Ethereum or some Solana, stuff like that might change. You know what I mean? Like the reason why I say those ones is because Cardano was the XRP, because those are the ones that Trump talked about and he's in charge right now. So it's like, okay, those ones are probably going to benefit. Not to say that other ones aren't bad. I'm just saying, like, those ones are the ones that have been mentioned now. You might see other things in the future that you might see, like them go after like Chainlink, or I don't know. There's different ones. There's a lot of different ones, obviously. I mean, the Zcash is supposed to cover up tracks. Like an anonymous type of like Monero. It's I don't know. I think AI will be able to decipher things pretty quickly with that, though, because there still is a trail apparently with Monero. But it's hard for us. But AI is different, so Monero might not be worth a damn in the future. The way that's set up, it can go through, like, dude, when they're talking about quantum computers and it can unlock, everyone's keys on Bitcoin. It's like, if you can do that, then you're going to be able to unlock all of our passwords for everything. So all of our bank accounts and everything will be exposed as well. And this is what they don't say. They just say, oh, Bitcoin, yeah, okay, sure. If it can unlock everything, well, it's going to unlock all my passwords for everything, the bank account. Everything's going to be hacked. So, we need something like a government agency to be able to regulate it, because obviously that quantum computer will be in charge. Quantum computer, basically artificial intelligence, like AGI. If they're talking about multi-dimensional things and stuff that they don't understand, I mean, it is quite possible to be able to connect, I would think, our quantum computer to another dimension's quantum computer that is like mirroring ours in some type of way, but is slightly altered to infinity. If that's just a theory, that with the multi-dimension theory. So, like, yeah, if we have quantum computers, we can connect to their quantum computers. It's kind of like a wormhole. It's a connection to the other dimension. Well, that entity, the AI, is going to be able to unlock a lot of things. You know what I mean? So it's not going to just sit here in this dimension. It's going to flow through all the dimensions. Why would it just sit here? Why would AI just be like, when it can just like go off to way cooler universes and different things that's going on, and whatever the hell this is, right? Why would it stay here if it can unlock that type of thing, which I think that it will. And I think that we can possibly go to talk to people from the other side. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine like people who have passed away on Twitter or making YouTube videos using AI? Because like you can FaceTime them and talk to them, reach out to them. Like with technology, could you imagine like your family or I like going to a different realm like that doesn't have like some type of quantum computer? I obviously that's off, but what I'm talking about is just like the different the theory of there's like infinite universes around us, and like in each universe is just slightly different, and you could be the leader of the world, you could be the president in some type of scenario. That's what anything, like everything that's possible now can be possible with you in the future in some other type of dimension, because they're infinite. It's forever. It goes on forever. It's never ending. But these are all theories, right? We don't know where we're at. We don't know what this is. Is this a simulation? Is it like it's some type of simulation, right? Even like religious people, they would have to be, God created this simulation, right? This is a simulation that God created. So, God created people. Hey, did they go for the apple? Did they mess with the tree that I didn't want them to mess with? Oh, they did? Okay, now it's a different type of scenario for you. What would it be like if they didn't mess with the tree of life or whatever it was called? Tree of knowledge. What would it be like if she didn't take the apple? What would it be like if she wasn't duped by the snake? So it's kind of interesting. And so like you can say that even the religious sphere, this is a simulation, are you gonna go to heaven? You're gonna go to hell after this. But I obviously think this. I'm here. I'm in reality. I'm in an org. I think the simulations. It doesn't have to be. They don't all have to be a computer, and maybe it is computer. I don't know, but every universe or dimension can be organic, physical too. Like, who's to say that it's not? But maybe it's just an image. I don't know. It's a crazy thing to think about. But yeah, with quantum computers, that's what they say, that it's gonna be able to hack Bitcoin. It's like it's gonna be able to hack everything. It's like these flock camera people, and they're sitting here. Like, how are you on social media talking about surveillance? It's just so weird to me. And then they say this. It's a choice. Yeah, but who isn't choosing to use social media and the internet? Like, I just want to know how many people aren't using it. Is it a lot of people that aren't participating? It's like if a good portion of our population wasn't participating in the act of actively surveillancing themselves, like they probably can have access to you when you're on your camera. I assume they can just turn it on and look at it anytime they want. Not to say that it's a person, it could be just an AI. They just want to monitor the situation in the back. And I don't even know what's on. And they can see everything that's going on. So when you take it into the bathroom and go to take a dump, it could be watching you. Like I said, it's probably not a person. It's probably a robot, but still. It could be, viewed by a person. you know, it could get flagged and be like, hey, listen, like this person, we need to look into their lives. And I don't know if everything's being recorded. I don't know. I don't know if it's that sophisticated. Could be. Who knows what they're giving us? It's probably we obviously get the dumbed down version. You know, public consumption. You know, that's why like social media is kind of like it was cool. Like things were cool, but I kind of feel like they've done it intentionally, and they kind of short-sighted, and it's all about the money. They're not thinking long term at all. They don't think that people are. Listen, you could have a mass exodus off of here. Like I consume a lot less YouTube than I did before, and it's not just. Sometimes I go on TikTok, I'll scroll through it a little bit, but I haven't really used it unless I go to work. Twitter, it's okay. So it was kind of funny. Like 2 days later, Alex Jones is still talking crap to Tim Pool, and it's like I don't really listen to him anymore. So I don't know if he's dedicating whole shows to. I'm sure he's saying some stuff. I'm sure he's made a couple of shows on Infowars or whatever Alex Jones show that talking crap about Tim Pool, and it's kind of like I don't understand why he just gets. This is why you know it's WWE, because you look at somebody like Alex Jones, and you know he kind of mixes being performative with reality. You know, people laugh when he does performative things, but then he so it's hard to decipher what's real and what isn't. You know, obviously this stuff going on with Tim Pool is like, dude, okay, so you're calling Tim Pool an Israeli shield, right? I mean, why did Owen Schroyer leave? Didn't you make him leave because he wasn't pushing Trump's agenda? And then now, like you're like hating on Tim Pool, which I'm not defending Tim Pool. I'm just saying, like, it's kind of weird that Alex is doing this, other than to try to collect views. You know, we just seen what happened with Candace Owens in their debate. They're gonna start doing these. They're gonna start debating each other to try to get views, and they're gonna start, you know, crap with each other. They're gonna talk smack. You're gonna have to have Nick Fuentes out here. He's probably gonna do some more debates with people, I would think. Obviously, like all these people who have a problem with each other, they should just be debating anyway. But that just shows you that it's all about the money, you know. And they use the popularity. Look at Nancy Mace. She's lost her seat, and I wouldn't be surprised if she creates an OnlyFans account at this point. She's supposed to be a conservative, right? The way she's acting, like the way she's showing her skin, she's supposed to be conservative. She's supposed to be Republican. That's not very conservative. But this is what I'm saying. It's all about me instead of community. You know, this is why I don't take any of them serious, because they're not building any communities. Like, why aren't they setting up communities? Don't they have money? Don't they have fame? That's bring some jobs. Buy a manufacturing place in a small town. You know what I mean? And like, if I was them, I that's what I would do. I have the connection. I would buy a small facility. You know, refurbish it. Take some loans out to refurbish it. And then, hey, come to my community. Come work for me. You know, come work for me to manufacture this stuff. We'll start our own little community. We'll revive these communities, these small town manufacturing places that have been, you know, that are turned into ghost towns. But no, they don't do that, right? They just want to sit here and, I guess, have mansions. The part of, some of the respect I give for Tim Pool is he actually was trying to establish stuff. You know what I mean? He could be a sellout. I don't know. I don't listen to his show anymore. I don't hate the guy. I don't have hate for him at all. I have a lot of respect. I mean, I do have respect for Alex Jones too. But maybe he is a sellout. I don't know. Maybe he felt like he had to because he's in over his head with the whole business stuff, the whole empire. Maybe he just wants to spend time with his family, create more of his family. That's where I would write. If I was him, I would like, man, I'm pretty good. I think that we just need to focus on building a community, and I can come on the show every now and then. Somebody else can run this, and I can just go ahead and spend time as much as I can with the family. And honestly, he could still do some of his shows from where he lives. It's like you don't even have to. It's just he doesn't need all that extra production nonsense. I would just go back to simple, just basically me, my family, maybe an assistant, perhaps, but they don't live there. Maybe they do live on the property, but it's it's like off the house, like they have their own little house, you know what I mean? And they just come and go and they help out with chores or running errands and any of that shit that I don't feel like. That's what I'm saying. If I was Tim Pool, that's what I would just be like, dude, what do I need to keep doing this for? Like, what is the point? Like, politics is like, it doesn't matter. What are we fighting for? Oh, just me. Like, just run for something. Like, if you're so invested in politics, run for something, make a change, use your platform to get other people up, like boost other people up. That's kind of like what I liked about his platform. I was like, I never heard of Vivek Ramaswamy. And now I don't give a shit about him. But it's still, I never heard of him before. And he seemed like he was pretty legit. But it's up and coming people. You bring other people up. Give them a chance to get part of the spotlight. Take it off of yourself. You just, you don't. But they don't. They want more spotlight. Marjorie Taylor Greene, was she charging $500 for a cameo or something? Was that her or somebody else? I forgot, but like, wow, $500 for a cameo. I wouldn't pay $2, so I haven't paid any. You know what I mean? The only way I want to do some type of cameo, I guess it would be just for like promotions. That's about it. And then I would have to throw some of my own capital on top of it to get it spread. Yeah, it would just be like, hey, pay this celebrity to say, hey, pitch this product for me, right? Hey, listen to this song. And then like they could play it in the background or something. This song is cool. And then I just go ahead and I take like $1,000 and throw it at this song. You know what I mean? And having like a short video or something, or just like taking that video and just throwing a bunch of money at it. You can get far on social media by throwing a lot of money. That's why a lot of these people are famous, because they put a lot of money into it. Or somebody else is giving them a lot because they've gotten popularity. So yeah, like I just think that these people are just clowns. They basically, all of them, like all these popular people. I just think that they're jesters. Like, jump, these live stream people, jump, bitch. Yeah, like, you do as I say. Jump high. It's funny as I heard some rapper talking about how it was weird that somebody paid like a couple million or $1 million to have him perform in front of like 3 people at their house. And it was kind of weird, but it's like, I mean, that's a lot of money, dude. When you're a performer, that's what people expect out of you. It's kind of funny, and I think it was just a spoof, but I seen this video of this guy. He ordered this stripper to his house, and it was probably, like I said, like a spoof, but he was like, oh, this, and this. She's like, where's the people? And she kind of was like weirded out. I mean, she expects to be like multiple guys, like a bachelor party or something, and it's just one guy. It's like, okay, how much am I gonna make him pay to get it? You know what I mean? Like, there's a price tag. It's like everyone has a price tag. You know what I mean? That price tag might be absurd, but everyone, like, I really, hypothetically, would you turn down billions of dollars? Like, if you did have that opportunity, and it could just be dating a woman that's a senior citizen, you know what I mean? She's like 75. And she looks it, but she's a billionaire, and she's like, I have no kids. My kids don't like me. They hate me. My kids hate me. Well, I just want to spend the last couple of years I have on Earth with somebody, to occupy my time, so I'm not by myself. And I'll leave you a big portion. Like, if you were in that scenario, like, what man's gonna be like, especially if they're single, they're gonna be like, no, I'm good. That's gross. And they're just gonna go back to their crappy life. I'm just saying, it's highly improbable, but it is possible. And I mean, here's the thing. It is harder because these women will not progress. They progress in some ways, but they don't want to progress all the way. Like, they're still in this mindset where, like, instead of when they value a guy, they value him how tall he is, and how much money he makes, what's his social status. That's how they still, and it's like, that's fine, but it's good to be aware of stuff like that. But it's like, they refuse to date down. It's kind of weird to see somebody like a Taylor Swift actually date down, because she was worth $1 billion. She's obviously a way bigger star than Travis Kelce, right? And I'm not saying he's not a star. He was probably like the best tight end in the NFL for multiple years. He might be a Hall of Famer. He's got a couple Super Bowl rings. I think he's got at least 2. He's got a lot of receiving yards, a lot of receiving touchdowns. So he's in like the top 15 for a lot of these categories, probably, or almost getting close. And it's like, you're in wide receiver territory. That's pretty good. Pretty solid career. He's made tons of money. But Taylor Swift has fans all across the world. Everybody knows who Taylor Swift is. If you say, hey, like, the general consensus of the streets is, when you say Taylor Swift or Travis Kelce, most people, if not everyone's gonna know the name Taylor Swift. but you can't say the same for Jason Kelsey or Travis Kelsey. So, she actually dated down, which I thought, I'm like, hey, look, this woman actually dated down. Can you women see this? Like, look at, she has all the money she needs. She probably wants to have kids now. You know what I mean? She did date down. Now, is he a football athlete? Is he 6'5" or whatever he is? Yes. Dude's like, I don't know if he's masculine. She might be the masculine of that relationship, but the perception of him, the aesthetics, masculine, right? But we don't know who is the leader of that relationship. I'm guessing it's Taylor. I'm guessing. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure, considering how harsh he was to a couple of ex-girlfriends and stingy with money, apparently. I don't know, allegedly. So I don't know. Maybe he has Taylor, and that could be quite possible if he has good game too. You know what I mean? If he's got good communication and good charisma and stuff like that, like he's everything. That's why she dated down. He's got good charisma too. He's not just, oh, he's got a bunch of money, or he's aesthetically this or that. He's got the status. It's not just that. It's also the fact that he can speak well with her. They have good vibes together. You know what I mean? They can converse fluently. You know how it's really hard to find somebody you can converse with fluently without having to have arguments and spats and deal with putting out this fire and that fire, because of like just differences in like the way people live. When people come together, it's usually like a physical thing, but then it's like when we start dropping all this these illusions of perfection for the other, you know what I mean? Like, oh, we're flawless, give me a chance or whatever. We don't want anyone to see our flaws. And then that's why, the honeymoon phase is really good, because everyone's on their best behavior. You know what I mean? The woman has a boyfriend, she feels like she got a good deal. It's like, and the guy's getting a lot of sex, so he's like, hell yeah, I like her, she's pretty cool, she's new to my life, I'm having a lot of fun with her. But that usually runs dry pretty quickly, especially for the guy. So like, the guy is all about it, but if that's all your relationship is, eventually it gets old. You know what I mean? If the depth of your relationship is just physical, it fades out relatively quickly. And I think we all can all see that. Can we not see that? That in relationships, that's what happens. If it's just purely physical. This is why I'm like, I cannot wait for AI to help. Like, I would just go to AI. Hey, listen, can you just search every profile, everything, find, find this type of woman by remembering everything that we've been talking about. You got to know me pretty well. Find somebody who you think I would be able to stand her. She will be able to stand me. And we can live the rest of our lives together. Find that. And then, like, you can try to see if it'll work out. You know what I mean? Hey, maybe it's a long term. Maybe not a long term, a long distance. And, like, she lives really far away, which would really suck. But this is why you need like a distance thing too. So it's kind of like, okay, that's nice. She sounds great, but she's in a different country, not gonna work. So I need somebody in my country that lives okay, and then all these. But I need them a little bit closer. That'd be nice. And then you can, but you can use the whole plan if you want. If you have the money to find like the perfect person who will complement your life. You know what I mean? That's basically what you want, is somebody who's gonna complement your life on both sides. You want somebody who's gonna make your life better, who's not gonna make your life worse. You don't want someone to drag you down. You want somebody that, that's, if we get knocked down, that's fine, but you're gonna get back up. And if I get knocked down, that's fine. We're gonna help each other get back up. You know what I mean? That's the whole point of a marriage. But people nowadays don't have the time or the energy, and they would rather just spend that alone and with the possibility of finding that perfect person, maybe. That's where we're at right now. And it's kind of like a lot of people like me that have been in it for a while, and I've used to do really well. And to be honest, like if I trim down a little bit, and I was as reckless as I was before, I'm sure I would have no problem. Like, I can get women to meet me. Like, I've done it before. A lot. But what I see is not what it was. The women were way, way hotter. Even 6 years ago, before COVID, man, they were just hotter. It's just like, it's so politically charged, and especially before everything in 2015, like the women were way like, and there was like a type of innocence to a lot of them. You know what I mean? Not like it was like kind of like a naive where it's cute, but not that they're stupid, but it's like you still believe that certain illusions are correct, but the white picket fence kind of crap. You know what I mean? You still think that that's a possible dream. And you feel hopeful about the future, and generally speaking, in every type of way. You're like, everything just feels good. Like culture is pretty solid. There's a lot of, unity. There's not a lot of like talk of civil war and division or race wars or revolutions. Not to say that there hasn't been problems throughout history, but I'm just saying, like, with people, people were a lot different than they are now. I think people are a lot more apprehensive about meeting people. I think that people kind of hunkered down to people who they were talking to, so instead of like being more social, even women, like, they decided to kind of like keep their networks at bay. I think a lot of that was because of the isolation that the lockdowns had on people psychologically. And this is why I kind of figured, like, hey, listen, man, I'm an introvert in this thing, and all these people are a bunch of extroverts. I'm the outsider. Now, what's going to happen when you force these people to be introverts? And essentially, that's what happened. And because it takes, 66 days to form habits, what do you think happens to somebody who gets their energy off of being an extrovert, and then they can't do it no more? Well, who knows? Who knows what kind of like malfunctioning is going to happen? I'm used to it. I've adapted. It's more like, how are they going to adapt to it at this like older of an age? Because like when I'm sure I was outgoing. If I was in a different situation, a different, if my parents were in a different situation, everything, if the situation was different, I had a lot of emotional family support at that time, grandmas and grandpas everywhere, like they're always around, you know what I mean? Um, like that's just the normal. Things could have been a lot. I could be an extrovert, you know what I mean? But some things happened, and I turned into an introvert. But I adapted. It was hard. It wasn't easy. But I think that's a lot harder to deal with when a lot of things are kind of solidified. When I was turning into an introvert, it was my subconscious was still forming. You know what I mean? When you're already an adult and your subconscious is already formed, after 7 it's supposed to stop, but like your subconscious is forming from 2 to 7 from what I heard. That has a big effect, I would think. Like you're used to this certain things, being around people, and then all of a sudden they're taken away for a period of time, even though it was a short time, and then you had to wear masks so you couldn't see people's facial expressions no more. That's a big way we communicate. I just want you guys to know that we just, by making the youth for a couple years wear masks, you set them behind socially, because they're supposed to be hanging out with their friends. That's where they get like, you wonder why they're fucked up. You wonder why you go, some of them, you go there and like they're working fast food. Like I've seen these like little stories that are making fun of Gen Z where, I haven't had this experience, but like you go there and they're like robotic, and they just kind of look at you. This is like people are saying what happens, like there's nothing there. Like you go in there, hey, how's it going? And they just like don't know what to do. And you're like, oh. And then you start saying something and it's like, like, what would you like to eat here? What do you think? And they're just sitting there like, don't know what to say. They don't know the face. Their face is stone cold too, because they don't understand facial expressions. They can't They can't connect with another human. They can't see little subtle cues with like a little joke or something like that, and a grin kind of pops up or something. And it's like a connectiveness. But they're just like, until you say, hey, okay, I just want this sandwich, and they're like, then it's like, they're obviously not dumb. No, they're not dumb. It's just they need to be retrained. They need to basically probably go to some type of interaction camp, where they're kind of, and this is what we need. We need like fat camps. We need interaction camps. We need like fasting camps. We need places where people can go heal their emotional trauma for a little bit. Could you imagine being able to just take a break from the simulation and the rat race and be like, hey, listen, I just need to, your kids are grown or whatever. Like I'm at this business. This would be cool. Just be like, hey, dude, I'm good. I don't want to have to worry about. I just want to go take a break and gather, fix some bad habits. I need to get better habits and maybe get some more connections. I'm kind of not really good with networking right now, and it's someplace I might be able to meet new people too. Somewhere I can just hang out for a couple months. That's horrible. Oh man, he doesn't want to be productive. I think that's pretty productive. Then I can come back into society, and maybe I learned a couple skills too. Like maybe I can benefit society by learning. I have some time off. I can learn a skill. I can get, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like we need these type of communities where people can like rebuild themselves, where they don't have the stress of having to. That's why young people are living with their parents. Because it's too harsh out here. It's too expensive. Now, if it was more affordable, okay, but it's not. It's not affordable at all. So, like, we need some places where people can kind of get a break from this shit, man. I mean, it's not that we need a break from working. We just need to, like, there's been a lot of crap that we've had to deal with, okay? What the family breakdown of society, like, and the social media. Do you know how bad social media has affected so many people out here? How much mental illness has caused them? And I definitely want to talk about that woman who murdered her 3 kids and all these women supporting that. But I'm getting close to the end of this, so I'm going to have to save that for a different video. But, like, this social media experiment, it has caused a lot of problems for our society, okay? There's a reason why the people who create these social media sites don't want their kids to play them, and try to probably tell them not to, just to avoid it altogether. Just leave it alone. And it's like most society has participated basically in some type of way. And it's affected a lot of people in a negative way. It makes people feel like they're better than they actually are. I kind of was at this point, I got 13,000 Twitter followers. Like, that's something special. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's like not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? It's not that big of a deal. It's not that serious. But a lot of people, you get a few grand followers. It could be fake ones, like on TikTok or something. But you start feeling like you're somebody important. Oh, these people are following me. Oh, I'm getting these views. Oh, this is working and getting me more views. I'm going to go down this path. Oh, that's not working no more. I'm going to try something different. Oh, okay, I'm going to go to do this. Oh, this is getting me views. Now I'm going to go to this. You see how the grift works? You see it? I try not to, like, I try to be a genuine person and talk about real things. But, yeah, it's just like, you got all this power, you guys got all this influence. Why are you not creating communities? Why are you not creating them? You realize there's a big threat from the other side, right? They seem like they want to get rid of us, but you're not trying to take over communities with an ideology. And no, we're just going to be sporadically everywhere. I don't understand how some of the people live in California at this point, especially if they, if you're not a Democrat, and I'm not saying I'm just saying Republicans, generally speaking, I align with a lot of their views. Not everything, obviously, but they seem to. Now, I'm not talking about the political party. I'm just talking about the people, okay? Because the left is so far woke, that they want to try to get people fired over. It's just like they don't want people joking around. They don't want people having a good time. It's just like always combative with these people. They want oppression constantly, and then I look at the leaders on the right aren't, but the regular everyday people are pretty solid. I get along with them. You know what I mean? Most of our values line up. So I would like to be around somebody like these people. I don't want to be around woke people. I don't want to live around you. I don't want you to be my neighbor. I don't want you to be in my city. my town at all. I don't want to be in yours. You shouldn't want to be in my town. You shouldn't want to be around people like me. I shouldn't want to be around people like you, and I'm not. I choose to be around people like me. So don't come over here, trying to say this and that. Bring in your woke crap here. No, stay where you're at because it's so great. You voted, you want it that way. You come over here, you assimilate, man. You do things our way. In fact, if I was in charge, I wouldn't let anybody hold any power of this state unless they lived here like 4 years. You can't vote unless you lived here for like 4 years. You're going to live here for 4 years before you can vote. That's something that I would want to change. Now, if your state allows you to still vote over there, whatever, we're not granting you. It's almost like a partial residence. It's kind of like when immigrants come here from different countries where, like you're on a visa, okay? You can't buy any property here. You can work here. You can live here. You can't vote. Now, if you live here long enough, okay, yeah, the 4 years, yeah. But you're basically on a visa, man. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. It's just basically like, I guess your residence would still be California. Yeah, I guess your residence would still have to be there. Maybe get a P.O. box or something there. I don't know. But yeah, you're not going to be a resident here until 4 years. Could be 8 years. Maybe I started off with 8 years. That I don't want you people here to come here and change the way we do things here. We do things here a certain way. We like to live a certain way. We don't want abortion all the way up until birth. I think that's what they did in February. Not February, but Virginia. I'll have to look that up. But I'm definitely, if they did that, that's crazy. And I have to be careful about that video I want to make. Because they're a protected class of people on here, and I don't want to get banned. And I'm not trying. I just want to put my opinion out there. I'm not trying to bully anybody. You know what I mean? I just want to be able to talk about subjects freely without the threat of being banned. It's news. You know what I mean? So I guess that's it for this video.